Welcome back. All right, we're moving on in Unit 2, and the next topic we are going to talk about is goal setting. So why should we set goals? What's the point, right? Well, it's been shown that goals can help motivate us to develop strategies that will enable us to perform at the required level to reach our goals. Accomplishing the goal can either lead to satisfaction and further motivation or frustration and lower motivation if the goal is not accomplished. This is why it's important to break your goals into short-term and long-term goals. Setting goals can help motivate you and keep you accountable. Some helpful tips for goal setting. Make specific, realistic goals. These are the ones that work best. When it comes to making a change, people who succeed are those who set realistic and specific goals for themselves. Creating specific goals can help you stick to your goals. It does take time for a change to become an established habit, so keep that in mind. We as humans are creatures of habit, but it is really hard for us to get out of our groove and to start a new groove. Your brain needs time to get used to the idea that this new thing that you're doing is a part of your regular routine now. And repeating a goal makes it stick. So doing things over and over again actually helps to make that habit, make it turn into a habit, and then helps that stick. So saying your goal out loud each morning to remind yourself of what you want and what you're working for. Writing it down works too. And every time you remind yourself of your goal, you're training your brain to make it happen. Some more helpful tips for goal setting. Pleasing other people does not work. The key to making any change is to find the desire within yourself. You have to do it because you want to do it, not because your mom or your dad or your boyfriend or your girlfriend wants you to do it. It will definitely be harder to stay on track and to stay motivated if you're doing it out of obligation for someone else and not yourself. And then roadblocks don't mean failure. Just because there's an old school song called Dust Yourself Off and Try Again, just because you stumble, that doesn't mean you're a failure. Stumbling is part of the learning process as you train your brain in a new way of thinking. It may take a few tries to reach your goal, but that's okay. Einstein didn't become a genius overnight. The light bulb, the telephone wasn't created overnight. It's normal to mess up or give up a few times when you're making a change, but stick to it. So all of those tips lead us into what we're going to be talking about next, which is SMART goals. And SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relatable, and timely. So the first part of SMART is specific. Making your goals specific and narrow for more effective planning. Don't say, oh, I want to get better grades in school. Say, by the next report card or by the end of the semester, I will get all B's and higher. It needs also to be measurable. So making sure that your goal is measurable, you define what evidence you will use to prove that you're making progress on your goal, and then you will reevaluate when necessary. In the case of getting a better grade or getting better grades, it can be measured by looking at your report card when the next grading period ends. Or if you can go into PowerSchool and look at your grades at any time. So making sure that you are monitoring those throughout the semester. The A in SMART stands for attainable. So keeping your goals attainable or achievable, making sure that you can reach your goals within a reasonable time frame. It doesn't make sense for you to say, oh, I will make all straight A's on my next report card, it doesn't make sense for you to say, well, if I'm a C or D student, I'm going to get all A's on my next report card. What would make more sense is to say, I want to raise all of my grades by one letter by the next report card. That is more attainable. Or for me to say, I'm going to run a marathon in June, but it's May and I haven't started training yet. I would need to start training at least 6 months in advance to complete that marathon. So making sure that your goals are attainable. The R in SMART stands for realistic and relevant. Goals need to be realistic to achieve and relevant to you. They should align with your values and long-term objectives. So pick a goal that you want to achieve, not that someone else wants to achieve. And then the T stands for time-bound and trackable. Putting a realistic and ambitious time frame on your goal. This will help motivate you. So if you don't set a goal to raise your grades by next week or next year, set a goal to raise them by your next progress report or the end of the term. Breaking up your goals into short-term or long-term goals can help you along the way when you're trying to create your SMART goals. So some things to think about as you are creating your goals. For the letter S, ask yourself the question, what do you want to do? For the letter M, ask yourself, how will I know when I've reached my goal? For A, ask yourself, is it in my power to accomplish this? Can I attain this? Is it achievable? For R, ask yourself, can I realistically achieve this? And then for T, ask yourself, what exactly do I want to accomplish and how long do I want to take to accomplish this goal? So, what you're going to do next is go back to your HyperDoc where you will find another activity for this lesson.